Alright boys, so in this video, I'm going to go over exactly how to make your ads personalized. And this is basically identification marketing. So let's just get straight into it. So what is identification marketing? Most marketing tries to satisfy a desire. Someone has a problem, so you offer a solution. Identification marketing goes a layer deeper. It's not about what the product does, it's about how the customer becomes by using it, how they want to be seen, how they want to feel about themselves, and the role they want to play in the world. You take your date to a nice restaurant because of the image it gives you, right? Not because the food is better, because the role it lets you play. You instantly get that higher authority when you're taking your date to a high-end restaurant. Let's say, for example, taking your date to Nobu, right? You're not going there because you actually like Nobu, let's be honest, because you can go to any other restaurant in the world and you can get, however much will you spend in Nobu, you can get a massive platter of food. Nobu's maybe like 80 to 100 pounds. You can spend that in any other random restaurant down the road and you can get a massive platter. So you're not going to Nobu for the food, you're going for the image, right? And this is what we need to make our marketing feel like towards our customers. When they're buying from us, they need to make it seem like they're buying into an image. Same with like Rolex or like Christian Dior or Louis. When you're buying these things, you're not actually buying it because you want to tell the time. You're not actually buying it because these shoes are comfortable. You're buying it because it gives you authority, and you're buying it because you want to play into the image, right? So the person who takes their date somewhere nice puts effort, someone worth being with. This is obviously what comes back to it, right? You never say, buy this and people see you differently. You just show the world where that identity lives and associates your product with it. Very simple. Now, when you're looking at Rolex ads, for example, whenever they're doing the adverts, they're always showing their, obviously models, whatever, they're wearing a Rolex in a really nice place. They could be in fucking like a desert, or they could be in doing snowboarding. They can be in a really nice car. They're not saying, look, buy this watch and you'll instantly become luxury and you'll have a luxury life. They're showing the watch in a luxury setting. They're showing the item in a luxury setting. So when you're looking at the ads, you instantly associate that item with luxury. So people don't buy products, they buy roles. Everyone has a self-image, a version of themselves they want the world to see. A man could buy a Lamborghini and drive it slow through the city every single day. He never uses half of what the car can do, but that's not why he bought it. He bought it because of what it says about him without having to say a word. Success and ambition. The person who buys a posture corrector isn't just buying it to fix their back. They're buying the identity of somebody who takes care of their health. Somebody disciplined enough to actually do something about it. Someone who shows up straight, put together, and in control of how they carry themselves. They'd never say that out loud, but it's exactly what's driving the purchase. Your job as a marketer is to see the role and reflect it back to them. So if somebody has back issues, if everybody had a slouched back like this, I bet you no one will be buying a back posture corrector, right? The reason why people are buying the back posture corrector is they know every person who's attractive or successful or whatever has obviously a straight back, chest out, and it's a very good look. That's why they want to buy it. Let's be honest, if everyone had a slouched back, this product wouldn't be selling. So most products sell due to the image that you can get from it. So current identity versus dream identity. The first is your customer's current identity, which is who they see themselves as. You market to that identity and your product becomes the first thing that fits naturally into who they already are. Second is your customer's dream identity, who they want to become. You show them the bridge and your product is what gets them there. Take the posture corrector. The customer already sees themselves as somebody who takes their health seriously and has a straight back. They work out, they eat well, they're international. That's their current identity. Show the dream, not just someone who's health conscious, someone who actually handled the one thing they've been neglecting. They carry themselves differently now. They move with more confidence. Okay, let's give this an example, right? So let's say there's two people making UGC. One person's wearing, okay, they're all promoting football boots, right? One person is wearing the football boots on a football pitch and one person's wearing football boots on a paddle court. Obviously, this one is going to get the more conversions because they're using the football boots in an actual setting that is related to football. Whereas if somebody's doing an ad in the fucking paddle court, it has nothing to do with the football boots, right? So it's all the same product, but completely different identity being communicated. This is why I'm saying you need to make sure when you're advertising your products, it makes sense. I've seen people promoting a fucking, I don't know, they'll promote a humidifier, but the humidifier is being shown outside. Why are you showing the humidifier outside? Put the humidifier in its natural habitat, which is inside a fucking room. Then it's going to be easier to promote it. Same with this. If you're promoting football boots, bro, promote it on a football pitch. Promote somebody using the football boots, playing football, shooting the ball. It makes more sense. It's going to get more conversions. If you're promoting a football boots on a paddle court, it don't make sense because it just has no correlation to it at all. Same product, different identity being communicated. The person who embodies the identity of your customer will always outperform the person who doesn't. Because your customer looks at the content and thinks, that's me. That's the life I want. The product belongs in their world. So, what not to do? The biggest mistake with identification is stretching the identity too far. If the role your product offers is too far from where your customer actually is, they cannot see themselves in it. A posture corrector brand running ads with their professional athletes and Olympic weightlifters doesn't work for an average desk worker. That customer can't be identified with a world-class athlete. The role has to be within reach. Close enough that your customer looks at it and thinks, yes, that could be me and that is me. Once again, if you're promoting a weight loss product and you just have bodybuilders who went from being semi-fat to absolutely ripped, huge, multiple different bodybuilders, that identity doesn't really correlate with your average customer. If your average customer is, your average Joe who works normal 9 to 5, doesn't really do that much, and is chilling all day, if you're promoting a fucking weight loss product and the majority of the people in the ad are huge and they're massive, muscular, ripped, it has no correlation to your actual customer, and that's not going to work. Hence why, if you see, most gym brands now have a variety of different sizes and different sort of people when they're making ads. So I have a friend and she runs a successful clothing brand, and if you look in her videos and in her ads and stuff, she has one fat person, one skinny person, one really muscular person, one normal looking person, one person doesn't even go to the gym. You need to have all of these different styles because it needs to correlate with your average customer. Most of your customers aren't going to be jacked guys. They're going to be normal people who just want to lose weight, right? If you want to scale, you don't want to just obviously target people who are jacked because you don't want to fucking scale. You want to target the majority of the people who need this product. And you need to make sure your ads are tailored towards normal actual people. How to find identification? Start with 2 questions. What role does your product currently offer to your customer? And what role do you want it to offer? A posture corrector might currently be seen as something you buy when your back hurts, but the role you want to offer is something completely different. The product for people who are serious about how they show up, disciplined, put together, in control of how they carry themselves. Once you know both, figure out how to close the gap. How do you take what the product currently represents and build it into the role you actually want to own? Done, boys. Very, very simple, right? And identification is very, very important in e-com. If you don't know your actual customer identification and you don't know how to market towards them, it will be very, very hard to fucking scale, and it will be very, very hard to make money. This is e-com 101.